Hello, welcome to West Ham Irons United for a very special West Ham Confidential on match day. Yes, today West Ham are going to Reading to play a pre-season friendly, there's limited tickets available. It all had to go through Reading FC, of course, but I wager there's actually going to be quite a few West Ham fans there today, or tonight I should say, 7 PM kickoff, because there's actually quite a big West Ham contingent in the Reading area. So I would not be surprised if a few fans are there, if you know what I mean, dotted about. So if you are there and you see me loitering about, then say hello. If not, then don't. But anyway, so look, it's going to be an interesting test for West Ham tonight against Reading. Reading, they haven't done well for the last few seasons, apart from last season where they just missed out on the playoffs. So it was an interesting resurgence from Reading, and I think this will be a nice little warm-up test for West Ham. We've still got Celtic, we've still got obviously the Betway Cup against Atalanta, which I think are a really tidy outfit as well, actually, from Italy. For the last few seasons they've been really good good opposition for us, I think, so this will be a good warm-up. Our first game against Newcastle, but you know, it appears now, some rumours coming out that the Newcastle camp, they've got an outbreak of COVID as well. So hopefully they'll all be fighting fit, really. I wouldn't want to wish anybody any ill health, of course, but that could have a knock-on effect for them in the next couple of weeks, you know, in their build-up to the start of the season. So that could be good news for us when we decide to, you know, play with them. And it could be that we actually start off a season with a win, which hasn't happened in a while, I don't believe. Anyway, from living memory, as it were. So you know, we've got something to look forward to in the next couple of weeks, I think. But on for tonight, you know, we've going to put out a half-decent team, I say. We've still got a couple of players out, of course, on international duty, or they've come back from international duty. You might have seen the pictures of Declan Rice on holiday with some of his England chums, Mason Mount and Luke Shaw, and a couple of others, Kyle Walker, I believe, as well. So there was you know, they've been enjoying themselves, and quite rightly so. They've done themselves proud, you know, with their performances for England, especially Declan Rice did a fantastic tournament. Took a little knock, obviously, that's why he had to go off in the final there. But we can only assume that there's no ill effects or no lasting effects. But, you know, the couple of the players, they're coming back. You know, how much training will they be able to do? Will there be a knock-on effect from their performances that they've given in the Euros, in particular for us? Obviously, Souček and Soufal and Yarmolenko, of course. You know, will they suffer? Will they be slow starters for the season? So these are all factors which we have to consider for whether we're going to, you know, start off with a few wins, or whether we're going to, you know, be stuttering. But tonight will be an interesting one. It's going to be a hot and humid night in Berkshire. So, you know, good conditions. A small stadium for Reading. I think there's about 24,000 capacity. I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong there. But a nice little stadium nonetheless. But it's it is a bit of a bowl there, so it is all enclosed. So it's going to be quite a hot test for the lads tonight. Who's going to feature? Possibly, obviously it's going to be a mix, isn't it? But, you know, you would like to think that David Moyes will put out some of the under-23s in there as well, give them a run out, show what they can do. You know, we're looking at the likes of, you know, Connor Coventry, those kind of players. You know, will they, and this isn't the question I'm asking now, will they feature this season? Will they be able to shine and rise to the top and break into the first team? Let's look at David Moyes. You know, we're looking at signings. Yes, we signed a couple of players for the under-23s, but first team signings. Are we going to see anything in the next couple of weeks? Possibly, possibly not. Now rumours coming out overnight or the last couple of days that another bid for the club has been put in by some consortium of investors. I think it was 400 million. that could be bogus, who knows, but apparently it's been rejected by Gold and Sullivan. But the rumour with that takeover bid was that David Moyes would have a much greater war chest for transfers. And again, this is all rumour, this is all speculation. This is not confirmed to me anyway, but it'd be interesting to see, you know, what happens, how much money is made available to David Moyes, and what use he can make of the existing players that we've got. There's no doubt we are thin in depth. There's no doubt that coming up for this season, especially with European competition, Europa League that we have, whether we're going to be able to put on a decent performance, a good, decent run of games. You know, on the face of it, we should still be able to challenge for a lot of the matches and put up good performances and get good results. But let's look at the facts from last season as well. A lot of the games where we did get good results, we weren't playing that great either. So, you know, we've got to look at that. We've got to look at where David Moyes needs to strengthen. Yet in defence, he seems to be, according to Anton, when he saw them at the training in St Andrews, seems to be focusing a lot on defence. Yet we need to look in that area. For me, I would say definitely the priority needs to be another striker or another couple. I don't think at this stage we can look at the under-23s rising up and, you know, staking a claim there. I think we need to buy in that position. In midfield, possibly. Now Anderson has gone as well. Maybe need to look at another couple of players in there as well. So, you know, at worst, I think we're looking at 2 or 3 players. At most, I think we're looking at 5 or 6 players that we need to bring in. Now, of course, could we do that? Would we do that? Would Gold and Sullivan put that kind of money down? What kind of players can David Moyes get at bargain prices? So, you know, we're either going to be looking at foreign players from lower leagues, or we're going to be looking at championship players, aren't we? You know, just good, honest, hard-working championship players. I don't think we're going to be looking at any names. I don't think we're going to be looking at any players from the Euros. Apparently, David Moyes didn't really rate any of the players that he saw anyway. So that'd be interesting for us. Interesting to see how we can start the season. Yeah, warm-up games are warm-up games. It doesn't matter if you lose 10-0, but it's what really important is whether you get these systems in place, your tactics in place, and whether the fitness levels are starting to, you know, to improve as well. So it'd be interesting there. Obviously, you know, Reading will probably be a week ahead of us in terms of fitness, as were Dundee as well, because they've got a lot of their prelim games and their cup games already in happening. That's why they were probably quite a stern test for us, whereas Northampton and Leyton Orient weren't. But obviously we had 2 games going on at the same time, split the teams. I mean, it was never going to be glorious, of course. So tonight it could be an opportunity for West Ham to, you know, put on a good display against Reading. You know, watch out for a couple of those Reading players as well. If we're looking at championship players, you know, in the past they've had, you know, a couple of decent little players. Their striker last season was doing really well. And they've also got a couple of midfielders and a couple of defenders worth looking at as well. You know, I live in Reading, so I know the Reading team relatively well, and always keep an eye out for their results as well. So, as I say, they had a decent season last season. Wasn't fantastic, but it was a decent season. They had a great start, but then they sort of petered off, and then they sort of came back again. So this could be, and their new manager has really sort of revitalised them as well, and brought a whole new ethos, a whole new attacking ethos to their team and to their play. So it'd be interesting to see how we match up that defensively, how we match up in midfield, and also, you know, how potent are we going to be up front with Antonio by himself, or are we going to have somebody else up there with him? As I say, don't be surprised if you see a couple of the under-23 lads, you know, popping up there in the forward lines as well. But a tough test tonight, but it's all about building up to the start of the season. But anyway, what can I say? It's David Moyes. It's his fourth pre-season. Is it fourth? Fourth pre-season so far. Let's see if we can get off with a win tonight against the Royals. So all you can say is up the Hammers. See you again. Ta-da.